Hey there, it's Steph. Welcome to the Stef Fox podcast.
Hey there, welcome to the Stef Fox podcast. I am Stef Fox, and today I am flying solo. I wanted to actually just come on and talk a little bit about something I've been studying in my doctoral research. For those of you that are just joining in my podcast, I am currently in my doctorate program studying organizational leadership. And the industry that I spend most of my time working in right now is professional beauty. And so, as I learn these concepts, I love to apply them to challenges that I see salons facing. And conversations I've been having a lot of lately sound something like this. We really let things be very lax after COVID. You know, the stylists had all the power, and so we just said yes because we didn't want them to quit. And everybody was kind of traumatized from what was happening in the world. So we just wanted it to feel better. And now, insert the next part of that conversation that a lot of owners are having with me. We have to get back to coaching. We have to get back to driving performance. We have to get back to growing. And so the underpinning of this is out of fear, we had a reaction as leaders in a situation where an environment felt completely out of our control. So normally, especially as business owners, you feel like you have some sense of control because it's your business. And so you get to design and guide and build the systems and determine what's enforced, what's enforceable, what's not, where you make adjustments, where you don't, who you fire, who you keep, all the above. You really have a lot of control. And even though we don't have full control, which is just an illusion anyway, we do, as business owners, have control. And then COVID comes and kind of feels like it just wipes that. And so I work with a lot of very large salon groups around North America, and I have seen this happen kind of in many of them. Most really stepped into fear-based leadership. And I say that without judgment. I absolutely understand. I was in a very similar space in my business at the time where it was like a big question mark of what was going to happen and how were we going to move through it. Now, flash forward to today. This is what I want to focus on, not the past, but what the future looks like. It is critically important that salon leaders begin to reintroduce coaching, development, growth paths, encouragement, recognition, reward, all of the things that somebody seeking a career in beauty needs in order to actually be successful. So we've really got to get these kind of mistruths out of our mind that we have a workforce that doesn't want to grow or that's entitled or doesn't want to work or doesn't want to earn money. In fact, when you think like that, what you will find is you're just going to attract more of that, right? It's like just think of the person that you know in your life who always has a lot of drama. They always have a lot of drama. And then you have the people in your life who are optimistic and positive, and it seems like everything goes well for them, and everything usually goes well for them. So you get to decide what you want to be in your leadership journey. And I would encourage you to be the leader that wants to look future focused and imagine that there is a different way. And so I hope some of the insights I can share with you today will help you feel empowered to do that. So the first thing you need to know is we do actually have a workforce whose number one desire when they pick a salon is I want to grow here. And when they come into your salon and they want to grow, the natural question is, well, what does that mean? It means they want to grow technically. It means they want to grow professionally. And absolutely, they want to grow financially. I mean, most of us are working in order to have an income. And so they want to do all of those things. And you know what? They're young. And yes, is it possible that they come in with misunderstanding about what it's going to take to have all of those things? Absolutely. And in fact, you should expect it. And I think when you don't expect it and you find yourself making statements like they're so entitled or nobody wants to work, you really need to have a look in the mirror as a leader and ask yourself what you think your job is. Because if they come in fully capable, ready to go, what do they actually need you for? Your job as a leader is to develop people. It's to help them see their gaps in themselves. It's to help them get to their highest potential, whatever that is for them. And so, what I see happening now that is going to create the next level of risk for salons is a lot of salon owners are placing blame on their lack of coaching, follow through, growth, emphasis, accountability, all the things that really are like the true nuts and bolts of leadership. We are blaming our lack of doing those things on COVID, which happened 6 years ago. And when we blame, it's happening when we come back around to the team and we're saying things like, we really let the standards slip after COVID. We have been too lax. We have to get back to growth. We have to get back to coaching. We have to get back to performance. And I just want to invite you into the mind of your employee. two things are happening when you share it in this format. First thing happening is they feel like they've been working pretty hard the last 6 years. And so you are definitely triggering the majority of them into thinking, do you not understand what my day to day looks like? In fact, some of them are like, I like this better. Maybe they double booked, maybe they triple booked, maybe they worked with no lunch breaks pre COVID, and that really made a shift for them post COVID that feels better. And so you could be kicking up fear, resentment, anger, misunderstanding. That absolutely happens when we present changes in this way. And as a result of that presentation, what you're going to get is immediate resistance. The big thing happening here is you're not taking accountability for what you did and the choices you made. And it's going to cause your team to feel like I've been doing something wrong, or my leader thinks I've been doing something wrong. And in fact, I don't think I have been. And we do not want that like them versus us dynamic. And so this kind of situation actually very accurately depicts something that we see in change management, and it has been researched over and over again. And it's what happens when this like structural change that we want to implement, new KPIs, interacts with human experience. You see, we are a human experience business in beauty. You employ people who absolutely care the most about the value of relationship that they have with their client. And so when you come in and press KPIs without very clear training, very clear coaching, very clear support, you are going to create a lot of tension for somebody who feels like what you're asking them to do is transactional, not relational, and what they actually deeply care about is the relationship. And I just want to dive into what I'm asking you to do. Coaching is not sitting down in a room with somebody and laying out their numbers and saying, what do you want to work on right now? Or saying, here's your results. Or saying, why isn't your retail where it needs to be? Or saying, your retail's here, but we need it here. What are you going to work on this month? That's not coaching, guys. They can look at their own numbers and figure all of that out. True developmental coaching starts first and foremost with a relationship. So you have to have trust, respect, rapport, connection with your team, or they do not care what you have to say to them. And in fact, when you come in with strong KPIs, in their mind, an immediate translation is this is all about them. This is all about their numbers. This is so they can make all the money. Do not build this dynamic in your business. Actual developmental coaching starts first with you leaning in and asking yourself, how do I build true connection to this team? If you are not somebody that really enjoys the people in your business, this is the first place you have to start. You have got to ask yourself, how do I build stronger connection with them? And I'm not saying you've got to be their best friends, but I am saying that all the research points to, and in my own work with large brands that are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, the longest retaining talent is retained in businesses where leaders are highly invested and highly connected, and there's a deep sense of care. So if you find yourself being the leader that's like, ugh, them, me, I don't really want to be their friend, I don't want to know about their problems, I don't want to talk to them, well, that's not the business we're in. So you should have a little heart check about that. And if you can't be that leader, you got to make sure you have somebody in your business that can be, even if it's a middle manager that you are developing. So, first and foremost, relationship check in. Secondly, you've got to go to the team and you got to find out about what they want to work on. What are their hopes and dreams? What are their visions for growth? How much do they want to earn? What is the thing about working behind the chair that feels the hardest for them, or the place they want to stretch, or the thing they want to be more confident in? Dive in and have a conversation that doesn't sound like you're a robot and you're on your own, focused initiative, and it's really like get on my bus or get off of it. That doesn't work, guys. Leadership today has to be influential, not authoritarian. And so the coaching of old is dead. It does not create psychological safety, which is, by the way, the core underpinning in the research of what actually retains talent. So if you want to create psychological safety, work on building that relationship, work on scheduling real time. The intervals of time don't necessarily matter. In fact, you could ask your team, how often do you want to meet? Do you want to meet once a month? Do you want to meet once a quarter? It's the consistency of actually having the conversation. After we have the conversation, what is critically important is you do the next job that is your job, which is you follow up. And follow up is not just, again, pointing them back to here's your results. They can read, they can look at those. Every Salon software has an app that's it's in their hands. Follow up looks like carving out time in your day to listen to what they're saying, to observe what they're doing, to check in on their results, to check in with them and give them constructive feedback. Ask if they want some ideas, suggestions, feedback, to give them reward and recognition and acknowledgement that you see what they're doing. You guys, the work of a leader is what I'm describing. It's not just payroll, inventory, hiring, all the operational elements. You have both jobs. And if you don't feel equipped to manage both jobs, then you got to level up your skill. And you maybe even have to decide who in my business should be doing some of this with me. And you should be developing other leaders that are helping support you in this. The bottom line is we are in a place where, yes, we have to get back to developmental coaching. We have to get back to performance coaching people. Our workforce wants it, but the way in which you show up to do it is going to make it successful or make it fail. You're either going to kick their nervous system into high gear and they are going to resist it, and you're going to bring all the fear you had about doing this in the first place, all the fear that goes all the way back to COVID, like, oh, if I push too hard, what will happen? You're going to literally manifest what you know is going to happen, which you're going to have people quitting, you're going to have people frustrated, you're going to have people not performing, and then you're going to feel like, well, what do I do now? Fire them all? And then the answer is no. So then you just settle, and then people realize, oh, I don't actually have to perform. Don't set yourself up for this, you guys. You have to show up differently as a leader. Now, if you don't have the skill for this, if what I'm talking about feels overwhelming, please hit my Instagram page because this is what I teach you how to do in the Leadership Lab. This is rooted in research. It is foundational. It is literally what we train, and we are having incredible results training it. This isn't Steph's opinion. This comes from research in hospitality. How do we drive performance and actually retain talent? So, if you're one of the leaders, to kind of go back to the beginning, that is like, we got to get back to the way that we used to do things. We used to have standards. We used to have expectations. We used to coach. I want to invite you, don't go back to what you used to do because it didn't work either. And don't just throw your vomit words of all the reasons why you have to go back and do something different because you've all failed. Lean into them, build relationship, own that you stepped out of supporting their growth and that you are working on changing that, and you want to know what their hopes are, what their dreams are, what they want to work on, and that you are going to walk beside them hand in hand so they hit every single possible goal that they have. That is the work of a leader, and it's hard work and it is rewarding work. And I would encourage you all to do the work. So I'd love your thoughts and feedback on this. Feel free to send me a message. Again, Instagram is the best place to get me, Steph with an F_Fox. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful week, and I hope this helped you think about how you're going to move your business forward. Because, guys, we can't stay where we're at. Numbers have to move, transactions have to grow, people have to grow, or your business is stagnant. And I don't think you started a business to have a business that doesn't grow. But the root of growth is growing your people. So stop diverting your attention to other places and or stop growing them in a way that's not effective. If you like this episode, make sure you give us a follow, share it with a friend, and watch for the next one.